Two coworkers started at the same company on the exact same day. Same office, same salary, same opportunities. 25 years later, one retired early with over $2 million invested. The other still checks his bank account before buying groceries and quietly wonders if retirement will ever happen. What happened? One spent money to look rich, the other spent money to become rich. And the scary part? During most of their careers, the wrong brother actually looked more successful. Today, I'm going to show you the invisible decisions that silently separate freedom from financial stress. Because nobody accidentally becomes financially trapped. It happens one small decision at a time. Let me introduce you to Mark and Daniel. At age 30, their lives looked almost identical. Both earned around $90,000 a year. Both had wives, young kids, and growing careers. And for a while, nobody could tell them apart financially. But then something subtle happened. Every raise Mark received became permission to spend more. Every raise Daniel received became permission to invest more. At first, the differences looked harmless. Mark upgraded his car. Daniel kept driving his reliable sedan for another 6 years. Mark upgraded his neighborhood. Daniel stayed in a home that fit his budget. Mark started rewarding himself for working hard. And to be fair, none of these decisions looked irresponsible. Because the most dangerous financial mistakes rarely feel dangerous in the moment. Most people think financial failure happens because someone makes one giant mistake. But for middle-class and high-income earners, financial struggle usually arrives quietly. Not through disaster, but through lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is simple. Every time your income increases, your spending quietly rises to match it. You don't feel richer. You just normalize more expensive habits. And this is exactly what happened to Mark. At 35, he bought his first luxury SUV. The payment felt manageable. After all, he was making good money now. Then came the upgraded neighborhood. Then the kitchen renovation. Then private sports coaching for the kids. Then expensive vacations because we deserve it. None of these purchases felt reckless. Because individually, they weren't. The danger came from what happened when all of them stacked together. Meanwhile, Daniel's life looked boring. He didn't upgrade his house after every promotion. He didn't lease expensive vehicles to celebrate raises. And he never let higher income automatically become higher spending. Instead, Daniel quietly increased his investments every single year. Nobody noticed. Because wealth building often looks unimpressive until suddenly it isn't. Here's the part most people completely misunderstand. The difference between becoming wealthy and staying financially stressed usually isn't income. It's behavior. More specifically, repeated behavior. Because money compounds. But so do bad financial habits. Imagine two people both earning 6 figures. One invests $1,500 a month. The other spends that same amount upgrading cars, restaurants, subscriptions, and vacations. At first, their lives look almost identical. But 25 years later, one has freedom. The other has obligations. And here's the painful truth. Most people never notice the financial damage while it's happening. Because lifestyle inflation feels like success. The bigger house feels like winning. The luxury car feels like proof that your hard work paid off. The expensive vacations feel earned. And to be clear, enjoying life isn't the problem. The problem starts when your lifestyle expands as fast as your income. Because if every raise disappears into spending, you stay financially stuck, just at a higher income level. This is why so many 6-figure earners still feel broke. High income can hide bad money habits for years. By age 50, the gap between Mark and Daniel was already quietly growing. But from the outside, Mark still looked wealthier. He lived in the larger house, took better vacations, owned nicer things. Meanwhile, Daniel's life looked surprisingly ordinary. He still drove practical cars. still lived below his means, still quietly invested every month. And then retirement arrived. And suddenly, appearances stopped mattering. Because retirement exposes financial truth. Daniel retired comfortably at 58. His house was paid off. His investments generated enough income to support his lifestyle. He traveled when he wanted, spent time with family, and never worried about unexpected expenses. Mark's story looked very different. His mortgage still had years left. His retirement account wasn't enough. So retirement became impossible. And this is the part nobody talks about. During their working years, Mark actually looked richer. But in retirement, Daniel became the person everyone thought Mark was. Picture yourself at 70 years old. Would you rather impress strangers at 45? Or own your freedom at 70? Because wealth isn't about looking successful. It's about having choices. If this changed the way you think about money, subscribe. Because the biggest financial mistakes are often the ones nobody warns you about.